Good morning, it's Jeff with Eternity Shore. And can any of you tell me what's wrong with this picture? Well, the boat's not in its normal slip. The boat is one slip over. How did that happen? Well, last time Mary and I took out the boat, on the way back I told Mary, I said, I just want to get these engines back up on plane one last time. Went to take the boat up on plane and it wouldn't get up on plane. And it kind of was struggling. And so I was like, what's going on? Brought it back down and starboard engine just died. So we took the boat back. It was getting late, it was almost dark. So starboard engine would not start. So we came back only on our port engine. Thankfully it was fairly calm here, but it didn't really have any power steering. And so we did the best we could to get back, but this slip just worked out better than the next one over where we normally would be. And this one's normally open. So we just took it because I was having a hard time on one engine putting this puppy where it needs to be. Now, this boat today in real time is Monday, October 30th, and this boat is supposed to come out of the water this Friday. I don't have a starboard engine. First thing we'll do is we'll try to get it to come on. And if I can get it to come on, I can do pressure testing the low and high pressure pumps. Let's get to it. Now, if it ends up being the fuel pump, you may see here, this is the fuel pump I bought from Man Cave Mechanic. The Volvo Penta fuel pumps themselves have paint chips on the inside. So this guy does takes aftermarket fuel pumps and cleans out the inside so there aren't any paint chips, so nothing gets into the system. And this is the one I put in. We were at anchor, I had to replace it, and so this would be disappointing if the issue is actually the fuel pump, because this is supposed to be a good one. Although fuel pumps fail regularly, it may not even be a fuel pump issue. I'm going to start out by giving it a shot. I'll put both in just for the heck of it. And we'll give the starboard side a shout. Okay, in order to figure out if it's the electric fuel pump again, I'm going to do a pressure check on the high and low pumps. And so I'll set you up down there. Mary and I did this once before. We did it when the engine was on. I think if you turn the key and try to turn it on and it cranks, it'll probably give us the right reading, or it should give us a reading anyway. So let me go down there and set this up. The low pressure valve is called the Schrader valve, I believe, like a bike valve, and that is down here. Alright, I forgot my little adapter. This is the adapter. Okay. Alright, let's give it a shot. Alright, so the high pressure valve for the electric fuel pump is here. I think that's on there. Feels like it is. Alright. Here we go. So you saw that the high pressure side of the fuel pump seems to be failing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the whole thing. I have an aftermarket right here, so I'm going to go ahead and replace it. So I've done this before at Anchor, so I don't know if I'll film the whole thing or not, but I'll film a lot of it, and we'll see. We'll put that up on my playlist of first time maintenance. This would be second time maintenance technically, but it's maintenance. What can I say? And I'm going to use my own video, go back and look at my own video as a guide, so I remember how to do it and get all my tools out and get ready. So after checking with Joe, my mechanic, we're pretty sure it is the electric fuel pump that needs to be replaced. The high pressure side came out less than 20 psi. It was like 15 or so, compared to 45 on the port side when Mary and I had checked that a while ago. So it just doesn't have enough psi to, it's not getting enough fuel. So I'm gonna change the electric fuel pump, and this time let me lay out, maybe if you want to do this yourself, let me just lay out some things you're gonna want to make sure of. First of all, there are a lot of different electric fuel pumps on the market. You want to make sure that you get one that fits your boat, obviously. So all that to say is you're going to want to make sure that you have exactly the same pump, you know, before you go ahead and just start that process. You're going to need a socket set with an extender bar to get, extension bar to get the pump out. I think the 14 millimeter are the big bolts. And then you'll need a 10 millimeter to get out some of the other bolts. You want to have a towel available, or a bucket to put the old pump in. Once you take that old pump out, there's going to be fuel in it. One of the things you can do is you can empty the fuel filter first and dump the fuel out. So a nice light, and then we'll get to it right now. And you'll need some open wrenches to do the job as well. You may want knee pads, depends on your configuration. There's a zip tie here. I have to undo the zip tie. There's one clip. There's two clips. This is the closer one. This is the high pressure. This is the low pressure. So you want to remember that. You may want to label them. They are identical. It's a little bit shorter. The high pressure is a little bit shorter. Okay, so those are disconnected. Now we're going to remove the fuel line from the fuel pump. That is an 8 millimeter. And then you get this thing off. Okay. I got it. Go in there. There's a vent line from the top of the pump that I'm going to remove. I'm going to take off these. All right, these are 5/8. So I'll take these off next. Gotta hold this top part first. And I believe these have O-rings in them. Oh, there's gonna be some gas here. full. Okay, I finally got that. I really take a screwdriver and put it underneath and pull it out. And then I got one more right here. I think that's the water supply. So we'll take that off. And then we should be able to, there are four bolts, 2 underneath, 2 up top. So let's do this. Okay, that's water. All right, now I think we got 4 bolts, 2 up high, 2 a low. I think they're 14s. And then I think this thing can come off. That's accessible right there. Okay. Just loosen this. Not all the way. And there are 2 underneath. All right, I got the bottom 2 bolts off. And a moment of truth is coming here, where this is gonna come off. And there's actually one other thing I forgot to do. That's this guy right here. I believe. And there it is. Here's that line you want to take off, because else you can't get it. You'll be holding on to this for dear life. Okay, there we go. I'll put that in my bucket. All right, last time I made the mistake of bolting this in before attaching this supply, the water supply. Not going to do that this time. So you want to thread it through here and then pull it back through so you get until you get all the way up here to the supply, which I don't think you can see, but as long as you pull it through first, you'll be okay in getting it there. This is going to go back on here. All right, so I got that here. Okay, remember we have a lot of other little things in here. This one is smaller than that one, okay? And you'll see here, there are 2 hoses here. That one is actually bigger. That's gonna go back there. And this one is smaller. So shouldn't be able to screw that up. And there's no fuel line here, I noticed. So I gotta take the one off of the old fuel line and attach it. Okay, so I took this off the other fuel pump. This is a 7/16. This bolt right here, you just unbolt it. I put some plumber's tape on. You should have some other kind of tape, but now I'm gonna thread it in through here. I don't think it's gonna go around again. Here's the hose. Got 2 clamps on this. It's a fuel hose. It's a lot easier to get on than it is to get off. Okay. shorter one I think was here. Oh, that's right. Okay. We'll just leave this here because we got to test it first to see if everything is working. There is no fuel in that fuel filter. So in order to get fuel in the fuel filter, before we try and attempt to start it, we need to crank it about 10 times. All right, we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, so far so good. But obviously I think that was the problem. So I think that was it. I think we did it. Now we're left with quite a mess.